So hey, we're back. I know we've taken a 3-week break, but we are back. I'm so glad to be here. We had some challenging times during that time, but we are good. So hey, good to see you. It is Monday, Motivational Monday. So what I want to say to you today is just keep fighting. No matter what. I mean, you may have circumstances that come against you that seem like they're going to take you out, but I want to say to you today, you can make it. You can overcome no matter what you're going through, no matter what you feel like. You may feel sick in your body. You may feel sick in your mind. You may feel sick of a whole lot of stuff, but you can make it. Well, we're here today with Ramal Brown, and I'm so excited that he's here. Hey, Ramal.
Hey, how are you?
Doing well. So glad that you're here. So today we're going to be talking about brotherhood. Now, Ramal is one of those guys that you just got to know. You want to know, you got to know. Ramal, tell
Hey.
us a little bit about you and, just kind of your background and maybe even how we met.
Yeah, sure. So thank you, one, for allowing me to be on this platform. I'm so grateful to be here with you to talk about brotherhood. Again, my name is Ramal Brown, born and raised in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Grew up a little country boy, kind of slash country slash city boy in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and served in the military and married for 15 years now, and have two beautiful children, Samaya and Sean, and I also am a VP of a radio station and a serial entrepreneur. I have a couple of other things that I'm doing and working on, but yeah, and we met. I met the Rose through church, through Hallelujah Church, and they came to minister at our church one day,
Shout out.
and I was just yeah, for sure. And I was just blown away by their ministry and just the authenticity of their ministry. And man, I just stay connected. I always knew that Marcus was gonna be a best-selling author. I'm still waiting on that day today. And just been developing and growing, man. I'm just an average dude in Tulsa, but just have a heart for people and God. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Ramon's a great guy to know. So I just wanted to let you
Well,
know we're
thank
going to
you.
do two parts of this series. So we're going to do a part one.
Okay.
We're going to condense it down. I know we have been going for about maybe 50 minutes or so, but we're going to condense it down into a 30-minute session. So this is part one of
Cool.
brotherhood and how essential it is to build community, to build
Yeah.
family, to build relationships. All right, let's
Yes.
keep going. Ramal, can you tell me a little bit about why brotherhood is important to you?
Brotherhood is important to me because I feel that just as an individual, you need people in your life, and you need people that you can trust and that that knows you and that knows when you're tripping, when you're doing good, and that knows everything about you. And so I don't think that you can do this life alone. I think that you really need people around you to support you and to speak life into you, to tell you to go, to tell you to slow down. I mean, yeah, I think we need counsel in every single thing that we do in life. And so with that, with the wisdom and counsel, I just know that it comes, and I feel that and I utilize other people in my community to help me to develop and build a great idea. So I think that's why it's important.
Yeah, so you say that you believe that it helps you. A lot of people kind of have taken on the perspective that I can do life alone. Like I really don't need you. And I've heard this kind of reiterated over and over again. I love people, but I'm not going to chase you down. And I don't mean it in the context of chasing you down, but what do you think about that in context of brotherhood?
Um, Man, that's a good question. I think that for some, we do need to be chased down. You know what I mean? Some people can't run so far, but I mean, if you're running real hard, then there's only so much that I can do. But I think that it's valuable that we do chase people down. Even God, what Jesus Himself said that He'll leave the 99 and go for the one. You know what I mean? And I think that's valuable that you do chase. And go after outside of the box of what is just there available for you, and go after the one. And soon one will turn into two, and two to like 200, over time. And so you just find a lot of broken people and hurt people. And sometimes they just need people to go and ask them, are they okay? So,
Yeah. I was just about to lead into that question, and I'm glad you brought that up. Do you feel like a lot of people run away from love and relationship because of the brokenness that they've experienced?
For sure. Yeah, man. I think there's a lot of people that run from different situations. Some are hurts in life and they don't know how to deal with it. And so they end up, just suppressing it and just replacing something else with it in their life and go into, there's a potential for it going into sex, going into drugs, going into just a whole bunch of gambit of things that don't really necessarily have an end goal for them or, a proper way of life for them. So, yeah, I think there's a lot of people that run. Hmm.
Run. You would think that people would run towards love. I mean,
Yeah.
but it seems like they just don't. I mean, I know even in my own personal life, when people love me, I thought it was too good to be true.
Hmm.
Do you ever have
Yep.
that? I mean, did you have that?
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, like growing up, I just felt that like I made a lot of mistakes in my life and I just tried to hide all my mistakes, from people and not necessarily share the things that I didn't get. And I think that was a breakthrough for me was when I had somebody to share my mistakes with and they like make more mistakes. I'm like, what? People are encouraging me to get out here and do those things. So I think it's valuable, to have people associated and attached to you in this lifetime that just love you for who you are, and for all your faults, and yeah, there's a lot of people out here that don't want to make, mistakes and want to make life look all perfect, but that's just not reality. You know what I mean? So you just have to embrace the good with the bad. And I'm starting to understand
I like that. Number one, I like the fact that you pointed out hiding. People hide because they are ashamed of who they are. So it's
that.
really
Hmm.
not that they're running away from you per se, or you're chasing.
Right.
Yeah, they're not running away from you. They're hiding
Hmm.
from them. Right.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. And
And
then
mhm.
go ahead and what were you gonna say?
No, I was just saying that it's important to know yourself. Know thyself. Know who you are. Know who God created you to be. You to be. You know what I mean? And discovering that there's a lot of things that people want to attach themselves to and put themselves along with culture and what's on TV and try to say, oh, that's me, but not necessarily. That's you. It's just something that you saw on TV and that just you thought that you could relate into your own life, but that's just not you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So.
yeah,
Mhm.
man, that's something. And then the part where you say you've got a community of people telling you it's okay to fail, it's okay to make mistakes.
Yeah, yeah. I think that that's very important. And working with people that work in faith, that's where you learn what to do and what not to do. And working in radio right now, that's where we are. It's just like we're building our own trail, blazing our own trail, and we're making mistakes along the way. But we know what we do want, we know what we don't want moving forward, and what God is placing, in our sphere of influence. And we know what God wants and what He doesn't want. But He allows us the room to bring stuff into our influence, or into our atmosphere to where He allows us, if He allows it, within that space for that certain amount of time, there's a reason there. And something that you got to really learn about in that season to where it may be a good thing or it may not be a good thing. But that's the grace of God. And that's what I appreciate about God is that, yeah, He does sometimes let not so great things be in your atmosphere so that you can grow. And that just, I look at Him just putting on a weight, and just making us stronger, like a certain muscle that He wants to work
Okay.
out.
Yeah, that's good. That's really
Mm-hmm.
good. So you say you were in the military. I know I've
Mm-hmm.
heard a lot of people say that like being in the military is like a brotherhood. Like you're with men that
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I know there's women obviously, but you're with men and like you create like a camaraderie, and it's hard to come back because that brotherhood is gone. Can you talk to me a little bit about that?
Yeah, man. So one of the biggest things that I'm understanding is that um, my why and the reason I operate a little bit different in Tulsa was because I did go to the military. And true leadership is not getting out in front of people and making them do something that you want, but this is what I learned is that the thing about brotherhood is that I'm doing whatever I do for the person to the left or to the right of me. Like, I'm not doing the work just for me, but like, there are kids that are out here struggling and suffering, and I fight the fight every single day for them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yeah.
I go get a picture of what their life is like. I go sit in an apartment complex and just sit there and just see, and I let my heart get broken. You know what I mean? And just the things that hurts me, you know. And so that's how I get a deeper, wide sense of everything. I go and sit in the area and see the problem for myself. So, and if I get that exposure, it'll help me to be stronger and to have a deeper why into helping people. So that's that military, that life, that lifestyle has built a different mindset in me, not to just think of just my building, my organization. No, it's like I'm literally working to serve everybody that I come in contact with. I can't do everything for everybody, but I can do something for somebody, you know? So that's why, what I do.
I love that. Can you see, like, tell me what you saw as um, a difference or distinction, like once you got out of the military versus being in
Mm-hmm.
the military, and when it came to relationships outside of that?
Sure. Yeah. So going in, the reason that I joined the military is because I was playing Madden all day long. Like, I was sitting in front of the PlayStation. I was just like,
Really?
I can't do this for the rest of my life. I was like, I got to do something else. So once I did that, I went to the military. I had to think of myself. I had to invest in my mindset. And so they changed the whole dynamic for us as far as just like military and what we do and how we operate and why we push so hard. And so coming back home, it was like every man for himself when I came back to Tulsa. And it was just like, okay, well, let me start on this journey of what building relationships, finding who people are, finding out what they struggle with, and be the best build a platform to where I'm not in a position where it's just about me, but I can build a platform for everybody to have conversation about some things, and so and that's why I DJ I mainly DJ different events, but I DJ mainly in the community, because music, there's not one soul on this earth that doesn't like music, so it's like I can play a song, like that's something that I can do, and something for somebody, and so that's how I reach out to people. I meet people where they are, and that's what brotherhood really is. As brotherhood is about just meeting you exactly where you are and helping you to elevate to where you want to go. And I ask a different question. I ask everybody a different question than what they usually get asked. What's your goals and dreams? And really walk with you through your goals and dreams as an individual person. Now that's where the Holy Spirit works, and so I look at that, and that's where the Holy Spirit and I can tag team and work on that person's life. I don't have to do the work. I allow the Holy Spirit to do the work. And by the time I see you next time, oh, hey, how's that business going?
Yeah.
We built a relationship. We built a bridge, So, and that's a way in building camaraderie and brotherhood with an abundant amount of people at one time, because I just can't be around everybody. But I can, if I remember what you were doing in your life, I got a brother or sister for life.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's really good. You said like you use music as kind of a bridge. And I heard somebody say this, and I thought it was pretty intriguing. You're a millennial. I'm a millennial. I say that loudly for all to hear. We're at the beginning of the millennials. Yes, we are, right?
Yes. Still young.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
But I say it to say, people have, I've heard it called us the bridge builders, or the gap fillers. Yeah. And I mean, I personally, like, for a long time, I never really could articulate it in that way. But you talk about building the bridge. Do you find that it's different generationally? Like when it comes to baby boomers and the traditionalists and Generation Xers, and then the centennials or the zennials or whatever you want to call them. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Like, what do you find it different, like building the gap?
Yeah, and you know what, I look at it as we were introduced to technology at a young age. Like I was playing
Yeah.
Oregon Trail, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was playing all the old school games, so we were introduced to computers at a young age, and so that was a change for us as far as
Yeah.
just like we were on the front cusp of technology. Like,
Yes, you are.
you know, we had the first cell phones, you know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? So we got to be in the beta era, you know what I'm saying? Like to test the Nokia. You remember the Nokia
Yeah,
phone, the
dude, I
green
had one.
screen? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like we were on the front of technology. And so our parents they didn't have that luxury of being introduced to that at the beginning stages. And so we were. And so we got to really test and see. And so us socially, we began to change our relationships socially. You know what I mean? Online. And our parents didn't have that. And so the way that they communicated was person to person, letter, you know, like just manual life. But we learned how to write letters, but then we also learned how to send an email, you know. So
Yeah.
we got the best of both worlds in communication, and was on the front to be able to introduce it. My mama's still trying. She asking me questions about Facebook to this day. How do you do a heart on somebody's page? I'm like, Mama, hold down the little thumbs up, and it'll pop up. So it's like
Yeah.
we're still teaching a generation on how to catch up and do everything. You know what I mean? And so it's a process, in us learning how to build a bridge, but we are the bridge builders in a way to help communicate what was the older generation and their wisdom, and today our generation, our wisdom, and the next generation. You know, because you can't. Nobody can tell us how to navigate through COVID right now. You know what I mean? So it's just just survive right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so we're all learning this together. But now our kids are the ones that have grown up in a generation to where now you got to wear masks. You know, and so it's just an adjustment to life, and now their life is going to be more digital. You know, and so we're on the front cusp of it all, and navigating this life and how to survive, you know, through this season. So
I know I'm gonna hit the side trail though, but we have experienced way more than any other generation, it seems like. So I mean,
way
we had,
more.
what was it like? We had an introduction of computers, then uh,
Yep.
not what was it? It wasn't 9/11. It was we thought that the whole world was going to end in 2000.
2000.
Yeah,
2000.
yeah.
Yep.
So everybody at 12:01, we're looking at our watches. It's life changed, and then like we had
Yeah.
9/11, and then the whole banking system shifted, and then you had like the
Yep.
stock market crash, the major
Mhm.
recession, the housing market, the job
Mhm.
market, and all. You remember when all those natural disasters were going on?
Yeah. Yes.
Wars that
Yes.
we had, like it's like seriously. And then COVID,
Yeah.
like,
Yo.
are you kidding me? And then like
Yeah.
just
Right.
the climate that we're in society,
Mhm.
relations,
Yes.
race
Yes.
relations, and just it seems like we have been in every single catastrophe
Every
known to man. Well, not known to man, but
we we
think of it.
we yes. Yes. We are the blessed generation though.
We are the
So that's
blessed.
what I love. That's what I love.
Well, I'll say
Yes.
this, I feel like to some degree that being digital has made us isolated to some degree.
Yeah, yes.
Um,
Yeah.
and then because we haven't been able to trust in any of the systems that are available to us, like the housing system, the job market, any of that, we haven't been able to trust those things like other generations have. It's made us isolated. We've had to kind of go in to ourselves, where our parents could trust an employer to keep them on
Mm-hmm.
for years and years and years. You go in, they tell you, oh, we're fine, and then get laid off 2 weeks later. What do you think that that's done to us, our psyche as a people, as a generation?
Ask that question again. Can you ask it fully?
I said, what do you think all those not being able to trust people, not being able to put our faith in any of the systems that are there. What do you think that's done to the psyche or the mental state of our generation and the ones that we're raising right now?
Definitely, I think it's helped us to grow a lot more with the systems and everything that's going on. I think that we've come to understand that we can't be dependent on the systems, some systems that are already set that are out there, and we have to develop our own systems that work for us. And that's where I understood with the Black Wall Street. Like, I'm now in this process, I'm understanding more and more each day why they had to do what they did, and the moves that they made. And so I just believe that now I think we're getting to a point that we're saying that we have to take care of us, because the government, not speaking badly of the government, it's a great thing. I'm proud to be in America, but they just don't necessarily have the perspective of everyone in America. And so I think that's the challenge in a way, is that if you don't have the perspective of everybody, if you only have just a few people, then you get the results of just only those people enjoying it. So we definitely have to build systems outside of the ones that are already available, appreciate it, but it just doesn't fit for our community. And so we just have to make a change in what we do and how we communicate. So I think that's the best approach to me, is looking at the systems outside and see who is actually doing the work and actually being effective within the community, and doing the data and the research, but actually being effective and actually changing lives out here. That's what I rather hang on to and just see what else is out, see my options in life, before I just hop into a big system and just try to fight a system. There's an option. There's another system that God has made outside of the system that we live in. So I want to discover that system.
Well, how would you suggest that we build? Because, like I said, like right now we're kind of isolated. We're in this place to where it's just, a lot of people are quarantined, and just a lot of that there's tension. Like, how would you suggest building brotherhood? And the reason why I say brotherhood, not necessarily just friendship, because I did something on sisterhood, but brotherhood, because a lot of times I feel like men kind of get lost in that. Like, men get lost in the fact that like, men are hard, and they don't need nobody, and they don't really care about nobody and all of that other stuff. I want to change. I want to shift that dynamic, because you guys you guys hurt just like we hurt. It just may look differently. But how do we build that community? How do we do that?
Yeah. So I believe the way that we do that is, one, starting with our youth and having the right coaches, the men, to pour into them. Because 9 times out of 10, if you are a man and you're talking to the youth, you are really speaking to yourself. Like, you see yourself in them, but then at the same time, that's actually a word for you in that particular moment to listen. So coaching has been a big culture within Tulsa, or just in Oklahoma. Football, basketball, they're just men that just went back into those systems and just, poured into those young men. So that's where a place where I believe a man can start in showing and understanding about, yourself and other generations. And I think, yeah, we are definitely isolating ourselves more and more, but I love to fight against the grain of anything. Like, I want to go out and just reach more people, even though COVID is happening. It's just like, this is just an opportunity to reach more people, because they are in isolation. Find a new way to bring them out of isolation. And that's the fun part about it. And so I think that men, are becoming more and more each day. Like, what I see just in the community, men are opening up more and more each day because they see what's really going on. But just in the world, with children, what's the potential to happen to your children, and more men are coming together more and more each day. There's some that are isolated, that are just out there and not really, calling or, trying to get out there, and you just have to let people go through what they go through for the moment, and I hate to see it, but, God, give them peace, but I still got to live on with my life and build a system for other men at the same time for you to be a part of. But I can't just sit there and just, soak with. I mourn where people mourn, but after a while, it's like, all right, you got to get up, man. Like, let's keep on moving forward. You know what I'm saying? Like, I whatever emotion it is that you have in that moment, I try to have empathy. But at the end of the day, for me, it's get up, man. Like, come on, you know what I mean? So, and that's where I have to work. It's just like, man, sorry this happened to you, but there's still other men out there that want to get help. You know what I mean? And then want to be a part of something. And so those are the ones that I'm serving, but still having empathy for your situation.
Yeah, that's good. To hear you say that you encourage men after they've gone through where they may be experiencing emotion to get up, to pour in to the youth. I know you work a lot with youth. Do you find that like when you are talking to them, you are talking to yourself and you're improving yourself at the same time?
Oh man, all the time. I'm always speaking to the youth just about, their attitude and, what they do and how you're supposed to work as a team and other things like that. But it's like, Ramal, you can't preach nothing that you're not practicing, man. So it's just like, then I got to wait to be able to preach something that I know that I went through and actually give them evidence to say, look, this is what I did. You know what I'm saying? And I just have to live my life like that, to where it's just like, I'm not giving you stuff that I'm just hearing off of something I'm actually experiencing. And I want to hand you evidence to show you that I'm doing what I'm preaching, So it's just very important that we, make the difference, for other people and may understand that people learn differently. Like, we don't all learn the same. And I have to be able to create a way and understand how you learn best. Like, are you kinesthetic? Are you visual? Are you audio? What's the best way that you learn? 9 times out of 10, the best way that people learn is by doing. That's universally. Like, people just learn by actually just going. And so if I can use those universal laws that God has, how he created them to learn like that, you know what I'm saying? But I just have to use those universal principles and laws that God has put in place to be able to reach more men and to be more effective, but to do it in a way to where you're not depending on me, but you're depending on the God that's on the inside of you during the time, and that y'all have that connection. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to find a way where it's not all on me, but it's all on God, and he speaks through exposure. You know what I mean? So it's just like, how can I find a way to expose more men to life outside of your world, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Well, look. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I apologize. Go ahead and finish what you're saying.
No. And I was just saying, make it fun. Like, if it's not fun for men, they not gonna do it. Like, so and if it's not fun, then I don't even want to do it. You know what I'm saying? So if I can make life look fun and I can make the educational component be fun, I got men all day. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
That's legit. So look, next week, we're going to come back for part 2. We've heard some amazing stories with Ramal being in the military, the difference between what life looked like versus being in the military and then coming back, and then how he's affecting change in the community. One thing that we did discuss is the importance of pouring into youth. We are different generations, and sometimes people can dismiss the millennials. We're here. Yeah, we're here. And sometimes people can dismiss men and the fact that they need community and that they need to be lifted up. But Ramal gave us a suggestion by going in and pouring into the youth, coaching, being there, making yourself a better person. Well, look, we're coming back next week and we're going to talk more about brotherhood with Ramal. Until next time, we'll see you then. Bye.